up everybody, Brandon Johnson here again, and thanks for joining me. Today we're taking a look at one of my all-time favorite tunes, Deja Vu, specifically the intro. And so for episode number 30 of my lick series, I wanted to specifically pay tribute to an iconic musician who just recently passed away, David Crosby. And I first saw Crosby, Stills and Nash in 2004, and I went on to see them 3 more times after that over the years, and really one of my all-time favorite bands. And so for this lesson today, we're going to learn the intro to Deja Vu. And we're going to be using an open tuning here, and it's kind of an unusual open tuning, and it's one that you may not have seen before. I know I had never seen it before when I first learned this song. And I read somewhere, I don't know if this is true, but David Crosby got this tuning from Joni Mitchell, and it's also featured on the song Guinevere. And of course, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Joni Mitchell did a fair bit of collaborating throughout their careers, and they were very, kind of stylistically similar in their approach to songwriting. So the tuning for Deja Vu is going to be starting on the low register. We have E, followed by B, so you're going to tune your A string up to B, and then we're going to go to D, followed by G, and then the B string is going to be tuned down to A, and the high E string is going to be tuned down to D. So what's interesting about this tuning is you're actually tuning your A string up a full step. So what I would recommend for this is I would recommend starting the tuning with the high register. So start tuning down to D, and then tune down to A, your B string down to A, and then go from there. So what that does is it lowers the tension on your neck before you actually start tuning your A string up to B. So you're not putting like a ton of pressure on the neck with this particular tuning. Because a lot of times with open tunings, you're tuning down. You're tuning your strings down a step or a half a step or whatever. But in this case, we're tuning our strings up. So it's important to really start with the upper register, tune those strings down, and then tune your A string up to B. All right, so now that we've got our guitar tuned to this open tuning, let's take a look at the intro to Deja Vu. So I've got my thumb pick on here, and we're going to use a method of picking called Travis picking. And Travis picking is where you're finger picking with your index and your thumb picking. It was made famous by a guitarist named Merle Travis. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to just simply play a pattern, and that pattern is going to be this. So I'm playing the G string with my thumb pick, and then with my index finger I'm hitting the high E, or the high D in this case, and then the high A. So that little 3-note pattern is really all you need to know to play this intro part here. Now David Crosby, when he plays this song live, if you look it up, he's using hybrid picking. So he's holding a pick, like a regular flat pick, and then he's kind of doing it that way. And you can do it that way as well, and I think the reason he does that, well I know the reason he does that, is that the rest of the song is strummed. So there's not a whole lot of finger picking after this intro section here. So that's one way you could do it as well. And I've just sort of chosen to use the thumb pick on this one because I think it kind of creates a nice effect when it's finger picked using this technique. So now that we've got our open tuning and we've got our 3-string pattern here, we'll want to think about the timing of this as well. So the timing is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's kind of the timing that we're going to be using here. Now that's the hard part out of the way. All we need to do now to play the intro to Deja Vu is play that pattern and then place our index finger on the 3rd fret. So it's going to be the D, the A, and the G. Okay, so that's your first move. Now we're going to go right to that 3rd fret, and then we're going to let off again. Keep in mind, this whole time, we're playing that 3-note pattern. Okay, and then right after that, we're simply going to go up to the 5th fret with our index finger. and then let off. And we're looking for nice, clear tones, so you really want to make sure you're pressing down on that fret good and hard to get nice, clear tone. And then also you want to try to space out those notes as evenly as possible, so the subdivisions of the notes are going to be very even. That's really important for this song to give it, you know, kind of the intended effect. And of course, if you know this song, you know that after that, well, first of all, there's some singing that David Crosby does over this part. And that's something you can experiment with as well. And it's honestly, it's one of my all-time favorite songs. I love the chord progression of this song, the way that the intro kind of hits and then it goes into, you know, kind of the rest of the tune. And if you know the song, you know that after the fingerpicking part, there's a big hit just on the open strings of this open tuning, really just allowing this really unique tuning to shine.